TAF Leadership Academy. And today commitment. You will recall that since I started this academy lecture, I spoke about integrity. Just again to give you a very quick reminder, I am here to give you the 12 core values of leadership. Because leadership, as I mentioned before, for me, it's so valuable now. It's needed by young and upcoming leaders of today, focusing more on the African continent. But anybody, wherever you are in the world, you're welcome to join and ask questions. Today, I am broadcasting on TikTok, on Facebook Live, on LinkedIn, and then on Instagram and YouTube. But please, I want this session to be interactive. So wherever you are in the world, if you have any questions, please drop it in the comment section, and then I will try my best to respond. As I mentioned last week, I spoke more about integrity because the 12 core values of leadership for me, sorry, I don't think I've got my microphone right here on TikTok, sorry. Yes, the 12 core values of leadership, it's integrity, commitment, empowerment, futuristic vision, accountability, decision making, good decision making, empathy, confidence, good communication, honesty, innovation, and passion. I believe that with these core values, if you have them right, you should be a good leader. But I've said over and over and over before that even if you don't have all the 12 core values, I mean, there are many more. But if you just have a good percentage of it, you should do well as a leader. So today I want to focus more on commitment, and that a leader needs to be committed. You know, commitment is key as a leader. And for me, what I define as commitment, first of all, is that, you know, if you're committed, you need to lead by example. That you cannot be a leader and then tell them something and then take the opposite direction or do otherwise. So a leader can't do that. I mean, a leader must be committed on whatever you are doing. And that's one good value of a leader. So by leading by example, you know, you're demonstrating, you know, unwavering commitment to the organization's goals and values, sets a powerful example for the entire team. Because remember, I mean, you are at the very top, and then you have, you know, your followers who will look up to you. Whatever you do as the leader, they're supposed to follow you up. And when they follow your footsteps, whatever you are doing, whatever you are preaching, whatever you are showing them, you know, you should do it by example. And that's why one of the core values, you know, is commitment. And in being committed, you need to, one, live by example. And then two is also a consistent effort. You know, you cannot give up. You know, you have to have efforts all the time. So that's commitment. You know, you don't just give up because you have an obstacle in front of you. So if you are a leader, you must show commitment. So you want to be consistent in all your efforts that you do. So leadership commitment involves consistently putting in the effort to achieve both short-term and long-term objectives. Because in every organization that you are, regardless of what type of organization it is, you need to have your goals. I mean, need to have your short and long-term goals, or even at times medium-term goals. So you must be committed that these goals are achievable and you don't give up. So therefore, you know, you must consistently, you know, put in all the efforts to make sure that you deliver. And that's what commitment is about, or one of the reasons why you should be committed. And then also, I mean, resilience. I mean, a leader needs to be resilient. If you are to be committed, you know, you must demonstrate resilience. You know, remaining committed, you know, and steadfast in the face of challenges or setbacks is essential for inspiring and motivating others. So you must, you know, consistently be putting in efforts, you know, all the time, and be resilient. So you must be steadfast in to face the challenges and the setbacks, you know, because in life, and more for a leader, when you lead, you have challenges, and you have setbacks. So as these setbacks come in, you don't give up. You know, you must be committed, that you are committed to a goal. And because of this, I mean, then you are a leader. You are proven to be a leader. So I would urge all you young leaders, all you know, upcoming leaders, that you must be committed. And being committed, you must be resilient. So resilience is key. Accountability again. Whilst accountability is one of the core values of leadership, but to be committed also, you need to be accountable. So it's all intertwined. So accountability, you know, a committed leader takes responsibility for their actions and decisions, fostering trust and reliability within the team. So if you are committed, you must take ownership of any decision that you take or anything that you do. I mean, you must take responsibility, I mean, for your actions. That, okay, you have done something, even when it is wrong. If you are a leader, you take ownership, you take the blame, that look, it was me, I made a decision that was wrong, and it's a challenge. So therefore, you know, you must remain committed. So that's what commitment is about. So you are accountable to it, because some leaders are not accountable, and they will sit at the top and then just think that, you know, because they're there, they can just do anything they want. No, good leaders don't do that. I mean, you must be committed, and being committed, you know, you need to be accountable. The other thing is to follow through. I mean, leaders who are committed to the goals and the objectives of any organization, you know, must follow through. You just don't tell your subordinates or your followers one thing and just leave it with them. I mean, you must always follow through to make sure that it is delivered. And that's what commitment is all about. Following through on promises and commitments solidifies a leader's reputation for reliability and trustworthiness. Because a leader must be reliable. If you're not reliable, I mean, people don't trust you. You know, so you must be reliable, and so that is key as a leader. So I will urge all you leaders who are there, that you must be committed. Commitment, it's key. Again, just went blank. Technology. Okay, so there, yeah, there you are. So it is important that a leader who is committed must be reliable. So reliability, it's key. You must follow through, you know, on your promises. That's one of the key things that a good leader, must do. Also, a good leader must also align with the organization's you know, goals. I mean, if you have set goals also, I mean, whatever you are doing, if you are committed, you must align yourself with the goals. I mean, there are goals that are set. That aligning with the goals is key. So committed leaders align their actions and decisions with the overarching goals and vision of the organization. So that is key. You must always align yourself, you know, with the goals and the objectives of the organization. So another objective or another value within, you know, being a committed leader is also adaptability. That leaders must be adaptable. You know, you must be, you know, committed leaders remain flexible and open to change, while you know, remain maintaining a steadfast dedication to the organization's mission. So you must be flexible. You cannot just, you know, be hanging on to something that will not change. I mean, a leader at times is open to changes where it's necessary. You must do so. So it is important, to be adaptable as a leader who is committed. Now, also another one about commitment is team development. I mean, if you are leading a team, you must be able to develop your team, because the team looks up to you. You are there at the top as the leader, so you must have the capacity to develop the team, by demonstrating, commitment to the growth of the organization. Good communication comes later, but again, if you are committed, it is important, to be able to communicate. So communication is very key. So a committed leader, must communicate very well. So open and transparent communication about the organization's goals and values, establishes a sense of trust and understanding among the team members. And remember, again, you are leading a team and you must communicate very well. One of the good values of a leader is being able to communicate very well. So your team must understand you, because at times it is not the fault of the team, that they do anything wrong, because you didn't communicate very well. Your actions, your body language in doing things. I mean, that builds confidence between yourself and the team that you are leading. And doing so, if you communicate very well, you will achieve your objectives. Meaning again that you are committed to the goals and objectives of the organization that you are leading. So that is very important, that you communicate very well. Now, another good value, I mean, within commitment is to inspire others. That's why you are a leader. When you are up there, you must always try to inspire, others. They should look up to you. Oh yes, our boss, or the guy who's on the top, he does things that you want to do, that we want to be like him, as the saying goes, when we grow up. So committed leaders inspire and motivate their team members to share their level of dedication and passion for the organization's vision. So that is key. You must always try to inspire the others. I mean, others, when I say others, mainly those that you are leading. And it's always about the vision of the organization, whatever it may be, maybe in business, in public sector, in social work, I mean, even in religious organizations. So you must try to inspire others. Also, I mean, inspiring others, you need to have a long-term view. A good leader who's committed to any goal, must look long-term. You cannot be looking at short terms, because most of our organizations are here to stay, wherever you are. So therefore, it is important that you also have a long-term view. So by having a long-term view, your commitment in leadership involves keeping the long-term success and sustainability of the organization in focus. So that is much so important, that you must have a long-term view. So if you are a leader and leading any organization, don't only think short term, or you must have a long-term view as a leader, as if you are leading an organization, and having followers who are behind you. Sorry, I think again I lost my computer, just went off. Oh wow. Let me just, I'm really sorry for those of you who are connected. My computer went off here. Why? Let me just do this again. I can see that it's not on. Not only those who are on TikTok can see me now. Oh my God. So, so I'm sorry. I think I'm back. Yes, I should be back. Yes, I should be back. Now, I was on long-term view. I mean, that you must have a long-term view. If you are a leader that's leading any organization. And then ethical decision making, that's also very important, that if you are within an organization that you are leading, you must be ethical in the decisions that you are making. Leaders with commitment prioritize making decisions that align with ethical principles, demonstrating a strong sense of dedication to doing what is right for the organization and its stakeholders. That's important. You must be dedicated in doing what is right. And doing what is right, it's also about your integrity. Remember, I spoke about integrity last week. So if you are committed, you must be dedicated in doing what is right. So those are the few points I brought up today on commitment. And again, the last part of all this, I always want to, make this very interactive. And I would like you to send in your questions, your comments, and then probably then I can respond. I see that we have people who are connected. At times, I really want to go a shout out to those who are connected with us now. And we on Facebook, I have Nobel Cole who says it's great. And then yes, Mabel says she's here, or he's here, Mabel. And then well, let's see where you're watching from. And those who are watching really today, I have seen that Luciana Philip on Facebook is watching from St. Lucia in the Caribbean. He says, you are a very wise man. Thank you. I'm very humbled, Luciana. And then I've got Ghetto Land Nixon says greatness on Facebook also. Mabel actually is watching from Sierra Leone. Yonuk Boss says watching from Sudan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. And then I've got Aya Tunkara from Gambia, I guess. Maria Makombe Luke says, good evening, sir. Good evening to you too. So Priscilla Dodo is watching from Ghana, says, thank you very much, TAF. Thank you too. Mabel says, commitment, watching from Philadelphia, USA. James Davis, thank you so much, those of you who are watching. Thank you. Emmanuel Emenike says, many, many thanks, TAF. And Alassane Sahad Kudivi says, good evening, my mentor. Good evening to you too. Alassane is watching from northern Ghana. And Emmanuel Emenike is watching from Abia State. Thank you so much, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Please drop it through. Usman Jassi says, thank you for this, uncle. He's watching through LinkedIn. So, we've got all these connections. Then let me see what I can get close to TikTok. And on TikTok also, we've got a lot of connections who are there. And give us a shout where you're connecting from. Good afternoon, it's Mr. Annie. And then somebody says, good evening, Mr. Njai, good afternoon. Yeah, so all of you who are connected on all my handles, I really want to thank you for this, for taking time and connecting on this program. It's a weekly program, and I'm here to just, give you my view on the 12 core values of leadership. Those of you who's followed me, since do know that, I am committed in trying to do something about leadership. I think it's absolutely necessary that we address leadership, as Africans. Mam Fatou Njai, please come to Senegal for a project like TAF. Thank you, Mam Fatou. So that's on YouTube. And on Infinity Jobate, love from Gambia. Emmanuel, yes, thanks, staff. Alassane Sahed again. Bakari Sanyang watching from Germany. Great job, sir. Stay blessed. Thank you so much. Bamba Gay watching from Texas, USA. Keep doing what you are doing. You are a transcendent leader. Thank you so much. I'm humbled. And then I've got Tom Ajimi watching from Nigeria. And we've got, who else do we have here? Ulrich Renford, and then says, discipline from California. He wants to talk about discipline. Thank you so much. Then Alpha Amadou Sumare, okay, when did you apply commitment best in your years of business? I mean, good question. I mean, I have been committed from day one. I mean, I think I've been committed when I started my business, but my commitment in working in construction really started way back around 1997. You know, I've been committed to follow my passion, really. I mean, I have been very much committed in following my passion, and that's what led me here. So I would say it spans way back in 1977 when I joined, you know, one of the biggest construction company. Actually, it was the biggest construction company here in the Gambia called Balfour Beatty, and I have been committed in just staying focused on being what I call a builder. And I learned through the job and on every trade. So you can imagine 1977 it's what about 40 something years now, so about 47 years. Sorry. So yes, and then when I started my business, I've been committed in just delivering my promises. Victor Etim, thank you, Victor. He's always on point. Thanks for taking time to dish out this great content. Musa Njai says, if there's any book that changed your life, what book is it? Also, what are your top 3 favorite books that you believe every entrepreneur or startup entrepreneur must read? Well, one of it is Losing My Virginity by Richard Branson. That's a book I see myself when I read it. So anything that's written by Richard Branson, I follow. There are many more, but this one that I will ask that you read if you're a young entrepreneur. So I do read some few documentaries also following life of entrepreneurs. Send your questions in, and then I will try to respond as much as I can. I'm sorry because we're getting close to the time. We have about another 5 minutes to go. So yes, Losing My Virginity by Richard Branson is one of those first books that he wrote. And he tells his story about being a young student and how he just came into um, uh, into entrepreneurship, how he found his passion and the things he did. And actually, I was watching my grandson actually, who's in high school and about the age of 13, 14. So this week he came to me and told me that, no, Grandpa, I've made some money. I said, how? He says, look, I mean, I do buy some candies, and then he also buys some green mangoes and prepares something, and then sells it to the fellow students, the students at the school, and he's made money. So now I say, wow, that's an entrepreneur in making. So watch, even like those of you who are watching and you see kids that are getting into this. That's something that you see from an entrepreneur, and that's what I saw when I read Richard Branson's book, Losing My Virginity. So guys, please send in your questions that I can elaborate further. Because next week I will be talking about empowerment. As I said today, it was on commitment, and um, I have spoken also about integrity. So every week at 8:30 GMT, I will come for 30 minutes and just give you my experience as an entrepreneur who has worked now, my working life, almost 50 years. By next year, 2025, I would have worked non-stop for 50 years. But my business is 34 years old. And so some say, Mr. Mustafa Njai TAF, he says, what made you decide to invest in Gambia, and when did you realize it was time to branch into other countries? But naturally, I'm Gambian, so I had no choice but to invest in the Gambia. This is where I started my business. But I realized very soon that Gambia was too small for my vision, and I started looking out of the Gambia around 2004. Remember it was in 2000 that I set up my business. But by 2004, I started looking at other countries. But my success came when I went to Nigeria around 2012. So you can imagine from the year 1990, actually 1990 when I set up my business, it's only in 2012 that I successfully, started a business outside of the Gambia, and that was in Nigeria. Before then, I had tried other countries, but it didn't work. So I always tell my audience that, my successes are, my failures actually are much more than my successes. But it is only one of my successes that is visible, or some few of my successes are visible that people see all the time. So I don't have a Midas touch that everything I touch works. I go through challenges, and at times, I cannot overcome the challenges. But one thing that's most important is that I don't give up. So Lamin Sane says, what are the challenges right now as a real estate developer? Well, the challenges are many. I mean, as you know, for every business, finance. But for me in Africa, the biggest challenge is affordability. And you will see this in all the comments every time I post. Generally, the middle class in Africa cannot afford to buy these houses, and that hurts because I am trying to offer affordable housing. And when I say affordable housing, it's meant for the middle and the lower class. So a big challenge is that there are no affordable mortgages. Whilst we can build for a certain level, but people can't find the mortgages, and houses are best bought through a mortgage structure. So that's a major challenge. Once we have affordable mortgages in Africa, then our business will just boom up because the supply is not a problem. We can always build to meet our target, but the challenge is getting affordable mortgages so our clients can have access to finance. So let me stop here. It's now 9 o'clock, and it was for 30 minutes. I don't know who's won in the Euro game. I am not a football fan. Let somebody tell me what's going on. One way or the other, I'm sure it will be either be Spain or England. And I pray honestly that England wins it. I know they've been waiting for a long time to win a game. But Sheikh Lee Kalon says, for a new investor in Gambia, what is your advice in going into joint venture, and how would you approach it? Well, Spain won. Pierre Adriana Nesta says Spain. Wow. Oh, that's unfortunate for England. Honestly, I wish that they won. So I will answer that question. I'll answer that question when I come in next week, because time is up and I don't want to take up your time. So thanks again for taking time to watch this. I can see that the numbers are growing by the week, and I'm glad that some of you are taking lessons from this. So thanks very much wherever you are in the world. I'm sure it must be in the evening or at night. Well, if you're in the US, in Northern America, it's still in the afternoon. So have a great day or have a good evening. So I'll see you next week. Stay blessed. Thank you, and God bless you all.